Hello, are you planning on growing some carrots this year? Have you ever grown carrots in buckets? Do you fancy giving that a shot? It's something I do every year. Have you ever sown carrot seeds indoors and then transplanted them? Have you ever done that? It's something I've done and it works. And I produced a video some years ago to show that it works. Have you ever used a template to sow your carrot seeds? Why would you do that? What sort of template? I'm going to show you, and it's all in the video that I'm going to cut you to. I'll explain in that video why you might want to use a seed sowing template like this and how to get your hands on one absolutely free. 12 stations this one for a 10-inch water bucket. "19 stations this one for a 10-inch water bucket." You might not think that's not very many carrots, but then again, it's not such a big bucket, is it? How about this? That more to your liking, 30 carrots from a 10-inch water bucket. And if you're growing in 5-gallon buckets, then you'll need a bigger template. I'll tell you how to get those as well, absolutely free. If I don't actually tell you in the video, what I promise to do is to leave a link in the text below the video so that you can send for your free templates. How about that? So this video is going to tell you how to germinate seeds indoors, how I do it, how long it takes. It shows me transplanting them into a water bucket. I think there's 37 I transplant, and then I think it shows you them a number of days later when they've developed from a germinated seed into a carrot seedling. And you'll enjoy that. Now it might look a bit fiddly, but it isn't. It's easy enough to do, and if you're growing in a limited space, if you're growing at home and all you've got is a few buckets and you want to maximise your delivery from those buckets, you need to take your time doing this. Just give it some attention. And yeah, you can get a great return at the end of the growing year if you do it this way. I've managed to turn out some great buckets over the years using this method. You could perhaps do the same. Enjoy the video. Carrot sowing template. 30 holes, 30 carrots. Imagine, if you will, 30 holes, 30 carrots. So you know exactly how many carrot seeds you're sowing. These are the paper templates that you can get absolutely free. Absolutely free. You make your paper templates and you simply pop your paper template over a 10-inch pizza base if you're growing in 10-inch buckets. If you're growing in 5-gallon buckets, it's probably a 12-inch pizza base. These polystyrene pizza bases, you simply put your template over it, poke a pencil through it, and this is what you finish up with. A template with 30 stations for sowing seeds through. 55 seeds if you want to go for 55. Just 19 if you want to go for 19. But the reason we're using these templates is to space the seeds out in the bucket so that every carrot gets the same amount of room to grow in. So we get no shoulder to shoulder carrots. Right, so what's the purpose of this video today? Okay, well, one thing I didn't talk about in the previous videos was germination. Now it's around about 0 degrees today, so we're only just above freezing. These seeds are not going to germinate in those sorts of temperatures. They're not going to want to grow. So we'll leave it a little longer before we sow some seeds. But one of the things you can do with your template, if you've got your template, and if you haven't got your template, there'll be a link in this video, near the end of the video, that'll tell you how to get it, or there'll be a link in the text. If you've got your templates and you've got your seeds, all we're waiting for now is the weather to warm up a little bit, isn't it? We just need it to be a little bit warmer. But we can actually germinate seeds indoors. Yes, we can. We can germinate seeds indoors. But sowing buckets of seeds and then taking them indoors might be out of the question. Particularly if you've got several buckets, take up so much room. But what if you could germinate these seeds without needing to take the bucket indoors? Then bring the germinated seeds outdoors and plant them up in a bucket. What if you could do that? Well, you can. You definitely can. You don't have to. Now, if I look at the back of these two packets, the text is very similar. Basically what they're saying is 2 to 3 weeks for germination. That's 14 to 21 days after you sow your seeds, you'll actually see a seedling. Well, watch this video and check out how long it actually takes for these seeds to germinate on a damp tissue indoors. And you could germinate 50 or 100 seeds, if you like, in a container not much bigger than the packet. So why would you do that? Why would you want to pre-germinate your seeds? Why don't you just sow them in the usual way? Well, because you've got that template and you know how many seeds you're going to sow, if you could pre-germinate them and put a pre-germinated seed in at every station, you'd be reasonably confident that a carrot will be produced at that station. The seed's germinated. What's to stop it? What's to stop it? Now, if you don't do that, if you simply sow your seeds and then you wait 2 to 3 weeks, some of them may not show. And if they don't show, that's 2 to 3 weeks lost growing time, isn't it? 2 to 3 weeks lost growing time. Now, you needn't lose that growing time. If you pre-germinate your seeds, the only seed going into that bucket is one that's going to grow. It's already growing. So you know you're going to get a full bucket. If you've decided you would be happy with 30 carrots in your bucket, then sow 30 pre-germinated seeds and you'll get 30 carrots in so many months' time, barring any mishaps. And if you think 30 is too many, sow 19. And if you think 19 isn't enough or 30 isn't enough, go 55. It's your choice. It's your choice. But sowing pre-germinated seeds gives you a better chance of a pot full of home-grown, delicious carrots. And once they've germinated, transfer them into your buckets using your polystyrene template. Anyway, I've talked enough now. I'm going to cut you to a video that I done last year. It explains everything. Enjoy the video. Enjoy the birds. Forget about all the worries in the world, and there are lots of them. Forget about those. Concentrate on your carrots. Concentrate on gardening. Fill your mind with gardening. Forget all that other stuff that's going on out there. Stay in your garden. Stay safe. Plant some carrots. Hello. Today I'm going to be sowing some carrot seeds. And I'm going to be sowing them on damp tissue. And I'm doing that because I want to try and give these carrot seeds a fast start. Look at any packet of carrot seeds, in fact look at any packet of seeds, vegetable seeds, and you'll find that germination usually takes between 14 and 21 days. Now if you have grown carrots and you've planted seeds, I'm betting you're popping your head over the top of that pot every day or every other day, and it just takes forever before you actually see anything. So what I'm hoping to do is to speed up that process. So this is how we're going to do it. We're going to wet this tissue using this water spray. Okay. And we'll see if we can beat that 14 to 21 days for germination. Right, I'm just going to put a little water in this bottle top. Don't need a lot. And I'm going to use a matchstick to pick up carrot seeds. I'm going to use this piece of slate, and I'm just going to put some carrot seeds on here, and hopefully you should be able to see them better. Have you got your carrot seeds sown? Are they through? Or are you popping your head over that pot every day? I think I've told you before, stop it! You're frightening the carrots. Blimey. Right. Okay. We'll just spread these out a wee bit. And I'll offer this up to the camera, and hopefully you'll see them a bit better. Oh, I think we've got a bumblebee in the greenhouse with us, and I'm not stopping now. They're the carrot seeds. Okay, I'm going to lift this slate up to let you see how easy this is, but then I'll put it back down again. Watch. A wet matchstick. Come on, how easy was that? In fact, now I'm going to keep this slate in my hand. It's working really well. So all we're going to do is pop these carrot seeds on this damp tissue, put the lid back on it, take it indoors. Right, I'm going to stop talking now, play some music. Enjoy.
Okay, nearly finished. I'm not sure how many we've got in here, I've just kept dabbing away. But there'll certainly be enough to plant a 10-inch water bucket, and there'll probably be enough to plant two 10-inch water buckets. That's providing these seeds germinate. Okay, now I'm just going to give them one final spray, then we'll put the lid on and we'll see how they go. Okay, we'll check these guys out in a few days' time. The carrot seeds have been on this damp tissue inside this plastic box now for about 5 days. Let's have a look at them. Let's see if we've got any germination after 5 days. Wow! Can you see that? I hope you can. There looks to be a lot of germination in there. There's lots of white tails and green shoots. Can you see that? Now the problem you have using this method is that these are very small and can be difficult to pick up. I'm going to use a screwdriver, a very small screwdriver, but you can use a pencil, you can use anything with a small end on it just to get under them and hook them up. Now I'll do that now, but because these are so small and because they're light, they're difficult to see. What I'm going to do is move this out of shot now, move these polystyrenes out of shot and show you these on a darker background. Okay, let me just put these down here. Right, polystyrene 10-inch pizza base with 19 evenly spaced holes punched in it with pencil. Okay, they look accurate, don't they? And that's because they are accurate, and they're accurate because I used a template. And I'm going to tell you how to get that template. If you want a template to make one of these from a 10-inch pizza base that fits perfectly in a 10-inch water bucket, I'm going to tell you how to get them. If you're growing in 5-gallon buckets, you'll need a 12-inch pizza base, and there's also a template for that. And I've got a range of these now. This one would allow me to sow 19 seeds equally spaced. This one would allow me to sow 30 seeds equally spaced, and this one would allow me to sow 37 seeds equally spaced. This is the one we're going to use, 37 seeds. So we're going to sow 37 pre-germinated carrot seeds in this 10-inch water bucket, and this is a base of a 10-inch pizza with no holes in it, and I've used this to firm down the surface of this compost. Okay, I wet this earlier today, but I'm going to give it another spray because it's important when you're sowing seeds. It's important when you're sowing seeds that you get some dampness in there, that things are wet. Actually, I've been cutting the lawn today and this was standing out, and there's little pieces of grass on here that look like carrots coming through, but I can assure you they're not. The small pieces of grass. In fact, they're so small I'm not too sure if you can see them, but I can see them, and I don't want those to be misleading. Okay, so we've got this wet and we're going to sow 37 evenly spaced pre-germinated carrot seeds, and this is how we're going to do it. We're going to make a small depression in the surface of that compost through all these holes. Then we're going to remove this, then we're going to sow seed in every one of them. So if I do this one first, and I'll push this through about ½ an inch. If I do that one first, put my finger over it and just work my way around like that. I'm hoping that when I take this template off that you will be able to see where I'm going to be planting these seeds. That's it, that's all them done. Right, let's go around this inner circle. This doesn't take long. I've got to tell you what, those seeds coming through as quickly as they have, germinating as quickly as they have, that is fast. I mean, that is fast compared to what it says on the packet. Yeah, it really is. And it'll give you the confidence, if you do it this way, that the seeds you're going to sow in this bucket, in your bucket, will grow because they're germinated. The only thing that'll stop them is that if you let them dry out, basically. If you keep them moist, they will grow. Oh, hello, that looks okay. Are you getting that or not? Let me just tilt this away a bit, just in case you're not. 37 holes, come on. Let me just, there's a couple of these that seem to have collapsed in a bit. Oops. Put that down there like that. Yep. 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 Let's have a look. Yeah, I think we're happy with those. Right, let's sow some seeds. Let me just pick one of these out and show you it against a dark background. Hey, how's that? Come on, you can see that. That's a carrot seed that's germinated. All I'm going to do is pop it in a hole like this. Tail down. Close that hole up. How's that? Now we won't put a second seed in that hole because it's closed up. We can see it's closed up. How about that? Put that one in there like that. Close that one up. Right. What I'm going to do now is I have another 35 of these to sow. You've seen me sow 2. I'm just going to stop talking and crack on. Listen to this music, you'll enjoy it. Well, that didn't take long, did it? Do you enjoy that music? Okay, what we're going to do now is we're just going to wet this a bit more with this 37 pre-germinated carrot seeds in the 10-inch water bucket. Let's see how they go. Okay, let's see how these carrots are getting on. There were 5 days on a wet tissue and they've been 4 days sown in a water bucket now. So 9 days ago these carrots were carrot seeds. Now they're carrot seedlings. These are the carrot seedlings, and there you'd have to say 9 days ago they were just seeds. This is fast. This is fast. We can't see 37 yet. We sowed 37, can you recall? There are some just starting to break the surface. They've still all just got their seed leaves. This one's just breaking. This one's just breaking. They've still all just got the seed leaves, but they're 9 days. Come on, the packet says it can take between 14 and 21 days for the seeds to germinate. After 9 days, we've got carrot seedlings. Hey, how good is that? How good is that? Now I've got a pot of carrots behind me that I sowed using exactly the same method, and again 37 carrot seeds put in the pot, and we're on 18 days now. So 18 days since we planted the carrots that I'm going to show you now. This is what they look like. So 18 days ago they were carrot seeds. Let me show you this. They look a bit bigger, don't they? Just 1 or 2 of them starting with their true leaves, true carrot leaves. Just getting big enough to produce a carrot leaf as you would recognise it, as opposed to these seed leaves. Here's one just breaking through. Look, a tail end Charlie. But hey, I'm going to get 37 in there. So that's something to look forward to, isn't it? There's always something to look forward to if you plant a garden. Plant a garden, you've always got something to look forward to. Now just before I go, I'm going to tell you how to get one of those templates, if you want one. Okay, right, the templates. The templates are produced on a website called Abroth's World. Abroth's World. Abroth has produced those for us, and they're free and they're downloadable. If you can get to his website, you can download a template that'll enable you to make one of those polystyrene templates. Hey, how good is that? And it's free. It's free. I'm going to give you a link in the text below this video. So if you've got this far, you haven't far to go, then go to the text below this video, find that link, click on it, and you'll be on Abroth's World. Now when you're there, I would ask you to do 2 things. Firstly, tell him Homegrown Veg sent you, and secondly, thank him for providing that free template. Would you do that for me? And you may also want to actually have a look at some of his videos. He's got a short video on there, growing carrots. That's worth a look. I think that was his first bucket of carrots ever. Have a look at that. Hey, you could grow these carrots. You could. Abroth did. I am. You can. It's not that difficult. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Get your free templates. Get sowing some carrots. In about 18 days, this could be you. It doesn't take that long. If it's cold outside, doesn't matter. Do this indoors. As long as you can get these to some light on a windowsill, but reasonably warm. As long as you get the seeds to germinate, you're up and running. As soon as the warm weather comes, move these outdoors. Just be careful when you water them. Don't be heavy-handed, you'll wash them out. Just a light touch with these until they get much bigger. Okay, so this is homegrown veg, signing out.
Okay, thanks for staying with it. It's quite a lengthy video that, wasn't it? But you see how I done it, and it works. You could do it just the same. So if you want to have a go at this, you're going to need these templates. The link is in the text below this video. This is homegrown veg, signing out.